everybody, this is Mark McKenzie, they call me, and welcome back to Higurashi When They Cry, Tatarigoroshi, and I kind of switched up my microphone headphone system for this episode because, well, my previous system was kind of, well, broken to begin with. Is Hojo-san staying home today too? Furi-san, do you know anything? Whoa! Whoa! That was a glitch. The teacher voice wasn't critical, but Rika-chan hung her head, unable to answer, and I felt really bad for her. The teacher called Rika-chan up and they had an exchange in hushed tones at the dais. At first, Rika-chan thought Satoko's fever had grown worse, but everyone in class knew it was a lie. Because every day, Rika-chan brought Satoko's bento with her. Satoko-chan, I wonder what happened. Don't ask me. I'm the one who wants to know most of all. It was already the third day since Satoko's first absence. Ever since then, I haven't felt good. Until just last Sunday, everything's been so much fun. I've reached out to Satoko like a real older brother, and we spent that time quietly, but warm and comfortable. So why did it suddenly been flipped over? The more I thought about it, the more I thought the world had taken a turn for the worse ever since Oishi arrived. Thinking on it now, maybe the strange apprehensions plaguing me the night before Oishi had arrived had been a sign. Kura Oishi, or Shio-sama's servant. Shit! That's impossible. They can't decide Satoko will be the cursed victim this year because he showed up. Just what sort of slip had I committed to cause those fun times to end so suddenly? Yes, it was the day before Oishi appeared. Shion, Mion, and Rena had spoken of the curse surrounding Satoshi and his disappearance. And it was so sinister it gave me a bad premonition. Just a small thing was a slip-up that invited Orishio-sama's servant? It was absurd! I kept on groaning to myself that I would never accept it either. Ever. I obviously wasn't the only one suppressing my feelings. Mion and Rena were too. Everyone in the class was doing it. Rika-chan knew something about Satoko's situation, but she wouldn't tell us. Rika-chan still had a calm attitude, like a cat basking in the sun. But she was being unbelievably stubborn about this whole thing. She didn't want to tell us, and that wouldn't change no matter how many times we asked her. Everyone understood that, so nobody questioned her. If Rika-chan won't talk, we just have to wait. And she might not be talking because there's something not worth saying. There's no persuasive power in research given with an anxious face like that. Mion was being tacturned, and just looked up at the ceiling with a somehow annoyed expression. I couldn't tell if she was being unhappy that Rika-chan wouldn't talk about it with her own friends, or she was concerned over Satoko's well-being. And what about me? My anxiety was suffocating me day after day. If someone else was looking at me, maybe I'd look annoyed like Mion did. Someone tapped my shoulder. It was Tomoko no Mokuruken. My bar-san, do you have a minute? Did your ball get stuck again? You guys have to get it yourselves this time. Don't rely on the older kids for everything. I didn't feel like going along with them, so I was a little unsympathetic with my response. We heard a little interesting rumor. A rumor? Yeah. I just thought it might have something to do with that. A rumor? About Satoko. They hadn't said that, but it didn't seem unrelated. They didn't want to talk about it in the classroom, so they pulled me behind the school building, lending further credit to that thought. The back of the school was damp and humid like always. Students didn't really come here because they wanted to. It might, however, have been an ideal location for training rumors away from prying eyes. Tomoko-kun, Okumura-kun. These rumors, they're about why Satoko is absent, right? We don't know if it has something to do with it, though. Or maybe. What on earth happened to Satoko? Is she sick? Or could she be, like, really sick? Or injured or something? Whoa, okay. No. Actually, it's the opposite. I heard my grandma saying that she came to buy tofu at our shop yesterday. Oh, Tomoko-kun runs a tofu shop. at Okamura-kun. She went shopping. To buy some tofu? My voice sounded so stupefied I could even I could tell. It was understandable. I was worried about what grave illness or injury she had when the person herself had been out and about shopping for tofu. So, how was she? Did she look okay? Was she wearing a mask like she was getting better? Or was she using crutches? Or did she have bandages on her? No, there wasn't really any signs of sickness or injuries on her, but I should have felt relieved that it wasn't an illness or injury. But my anxiety was going away, because Tobu-kun and Okamura-kun's expressions weren't looking any better. She apparently came to buy one piece of soft tofu, but my grandma said it was strange. Strange? Why? What's wrong with buying soft tofu? Irritated about how roundabout they were being, I had to desperately fight that irritation from creeping into my voice. Well, Hojo Fruity live by themselves, and they don't have that much money, right? So they will only buy the cheaper, firmer kind of tofu. Never bought the soft stuff. It's the most expensive thing there. Soft or hard, they're both tofu, right? Maybe she just wanted to eat some great tofu or something. Well, maybe, but I knew how transparent I sounded right then. This wasn't anything trivial. It was some kind of important clue. Not the cheap, firm tofu, but expensive kind. The soft, expensive kind. Shopping not in the evening after school, but in the middle of the day. I couldn't figure out what those things meant. So I thought hard about it. Okamura-kun took his turn to speak. Me next. This is just a rumor, but apparently he's back. He? Who? Who's back? Hojo's uncle. Satsuko's uncle. Right. I think Coach told me about him. Their aunt and uncle had taken them in after Satsuko and Satoshi lost their parents in the accident. Hojo's uncle. They say he skipped town last year, scared of Orishiyama's curse. He's really scary and violent, like a gang member. Everything Coach told me came back in bits and pieces. Right. You mean their aunt and uncle who tormented them all the time? I think he said that after their aunt was beaten to death by a deviant, he ran away to his lover's house in Okamiya in fear of the curse. Why would she be staying home from school and shopping for soft tofu in the middle of the day just because her uncle came back? My underclassmen clamped up and looked downwards. There must have been some big hit buried in there. Even if I didn't understand, if I told Mion or Rena about it, maybe they know something. Oh, my bad, you two. You were nice enough to talk about it, and I started hammering you with questions. Oh, no, it's okay. Now we know that she hasn't been in bed this whole time, gravely ill. That's worth something, right? That might not be true. That might be true, but it still won't. It won't make the clouds over my mind fade away. Ah! My Marasan! Over there! Okamura-kun cried wildly, pointing my shoulders behind me. Startled, I turned around, on the other side of the schoolyard, near the school gate. I saw a figure charging forth. It's Hojo! I burst into run faster than I could speak. Like I said before. Oh, this arc. This arc really gets me. So that, as quickly as possible, I could see them with my own eyes that she was okay. Satsuko! Satsuko seemed taken aback by me shouting and running over to her. Oh! My! What is it, Keiji-san? You surprised me with all the yelling and running! Stupid! Enough about me already! 3 days! What happened, Satsuko? I was worried! I was so worried! Oh! What a worry word! It was only 3 days! You're such a worry word, Keiji-san! From listening to her, she seemed like the normal Satsuko. I could clearly tell that she was acting strangely. Her smile was somehow forlorn, and her complexion was bad for some reason. Hojo! Where were you? Were you alright? Were you sick or something? Tomoto-kun and Okamura-kun both expressed their concerns. Just what happened anyway? 3 days. You know how worried I was? Oh, I do sort of apologize. I was just giving the house a good cleaning. We haven't used it for a rather long time, so everything was covered in dust. Huh? Satoko, what are you talking about? Why do we have to stay home to clean the house? Satoko didn't answer me. Instead, she passed by and headed for the entrance. Gosh, it's nearly about lunchtime, is it not? Am I not just starving? Am I just starving? It was certainly lunch break. I couldn't force her to stop after she told me she wanted lunch since she was so hungry. Well, whatever. Rich has been bringing you lunch for 3 days now. You look like you can eat it today. Let's just go to the classroom and put everyone's mind at ease. You're right. I suppose it may have caused everyone to worry. Oh, ho, ho. It sure is tough being popular. I put a hand on Satoko's shoulder and we ran to the classroom together. Up close, I was able to verify that Satoko looked somehow weak. All this anxiety was supposed to go away when I saw her again. That's what I thought. But now I actually started to have quite different fears. What the heck happened, Satoko? Everyone in the class, of course, reacted in the same exact way I had. We worried about you! I'm glad to see you were well! What were you doing for 3 days? Our classmates showered her in questions. I truly do apologize for causing a fuss. Oh, ho, ho. As she cackled, she tiled down on the bento Rika-chan had made for her. Those in the teacher's lounge must have been informed of Satoko's arrival, because her teacher sprinted into the classroom, her breathing ragged. Hojo-san! Oh, Sensei! I'm sorry for worrying you these 3 days. As you can see, I'm as fit as a fiddle. I was very worried about you. When you were done eating, come right to the teacher's lounge. I have a lot to talk to you about. I must be in for a good scolding for those 3 days I cut class. Satoko asked sheepishly as she scratched her head, and the rest of the class burst out into laughter. The teacher was acting angry, but she breathed a sigh of relief at seeing Satoko healthy and smiling as she ate her lunch with the class surrounding her. What a relief, right, Rena? Huh? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm glad she's okay. I looked at Rena and knew. She had a sense that something about Satoko was off too. I looked to see Mion detached from the clamor as well, with a somewhat grim expression. But Rika-chan, on the other hand, was smiling from ear to ear. As she spread out the bento boxes one by one, Satoko finished them. Finally, Satoko was satisfied, and after enjoying a thorough conversation with her classmates, remembered that she'd been called to the teacher's lounge. It's such a pain. I think she'll get angry if I don't go. I'll go with you. Satoko rises from her seat, and Rika-chan runs over to her. I do apologize, Keiichi-san. I'll be right back after being scolded. Right. I mean, I could go with you too. We're all comrades in getting scolded by the teacher's lounge. Ever since the curry incident, right? That won't be necessary. Keiichi's mind in the place while we were away. Rika-chan's words were gentle, but the firm rejection was clear in her eyes. The two of them exited into the hallway, walking shoulder to shoulder. After seeing them off, the class breathed a collective sigh of relief, broke apart, and went back to their usual lunch break banter. We, however, couldn't go back to how we usually were. Not I, not Mion, and of course, not Rena. They stared at the classroom exit as Satoko and Rika-chan left through, their expressions a little distant and grim. We're all friends. Isn't that right? I blurted out something strange, so Mion and Rena turned around with dubious expressions. I won't keep anything from my friends, so I'll tell you what I just heard a little while ago. I told them stories about Tomota-kun and Okamura-kun earlier about the tofu shop and how Satoko's uncle has apparently came back. All at once, without letting them speak. And that's all I know. So if either of you knows anything, please say so. I have said anything I can. Everything I can. I ended my sentence firmly and looked into Mion and Rena's eyes in turn. Rena stared right back at me. Her eyes didn't falter. Without even opening her mouth, I could tell she wasn't hiding anything. Then our gazes turned to Mion. It's not like I was trying to keep it a secret or anything. Mion couldn't seem to endure our silent stares. It began to stop timidly, as if she was guilty of something. It's just, now that you said something, Kei-chan, I guess I have to talk about it. Mi-chan, you know something? Well, I mean, I knew from the first day that Satoko's uncle came home that he just randomly showed up in Himizawa last Sunday. Why didn't you tell us that? I'm sorry. My angry shout caused Mion to flinch away, look down, and hang her head uncomfortably. Keiichi-kun, it's nothing to get angry about. You're scaring me, Chan. Oh, I'm sorry I shouted at you. I lowered my head in apology. Mion accepted it, collected herself, and continued. According to her, her uncle's relationship with his lover, whom he'd been with in Okamiya, had collapsed. Without anywhere to go, he went back home to Himizawa. And, on that Sunday, day of the barbecue, her uncle ran into Satoko and brought her back to the house. Why? Why did she bring her with him? Because he's a good-for-nothing parasite. He can't even cook by himself, much less do any cleaning. But that's... He brought Satoko-chan back to have her cook and clean? I remembered that she said she's been cleaning the house when I met her back at the school gate. A moment later, the pieces fell into place, into the jigsaw puzzle and ease. As for what the puzzle depicted, when I saw it from afar, I could see the answer clearly. Satoko was locked up at home, and was tormented into doing the housework. Those are the rumors. If you knew that, why didn't you speak up? I nearly yelled at Mion, but hastily stopped myself. Mi-chan, is that true? I haven't seen it myself, so I don't know if it's true or not. Mion looked down again, and staring at the floor, grew quiet. Just like last year. Like when they lived with their mean uncle and his wife. But this uncle is completely helpless when it comes to housework, right? If something was that important, then there wouldn't be any reason to torment her, would there? Keiichi-kun, I don't know what grounds you have for saying that. Well, you shouldn't be so irresponsible. Rena clearly and directly got mad at me. You don't know much about this, so you don't talk as you do. Yes, that's clearly what she meant. Fine. Then do you know something, Rena? I don't know anything either. I didn't know her uncle had taken her to the house until hearing it just now. But the situation is different from a year ago. The situation is different? What does that mean? Satoshi-kun isn't here. Satoshi really cared about his little sister. He always stuck up for her. He was her shield, so she would be affected just by a little less by their mean aunt and uncle's fighting. The mean uncle and Satoko-chan are the only ones living there now. Can't you imagine how stifling that must be, Keiichi-kun? He only came back because he broke up with the woman he was staying with. Do you think a person who come back for such unpleasant reason would be able to treat Satoko kindly? She was right. It wasn't easy for me to imagine Satoko not being tormented. I'm sorry. Oh, no, I'm sorry too. I sounded like I was irritating you, didn't I? Oh! An awkward atmosphere floated along us. The three of us remained silent and stared at the floor. Finally, as we heard the principal's bell ringing, the teacher came back with Satoko Noriko-chan at her side. Alright, we're starting the afternoon class. Class president, please. Everyone stand up! Oh, I'm sorry. How rude of me. I couldn't read anything from Satoko's vaguely sheepish expression, but given the clouded look Rika-chan was wearing behind her, it was tough to laugh out this disquieting story I heard from Eon. Oh no. Oh no, I'm so sorry, but really? All white? All white? Like, no matter how I'm trying to read that, I'm thinking all white. All white? All white? All white? First time in a while everyone's been here. Let's all have a roaring good time with the whole club. Yeah, perfect. Indeed, in times like these, the best thing to do was obviously get rowdy and scheme against one another in a club activity. Just what I was waiting for. Hey, Satoko-chan, let's play. there was a game you liked, wasn't there? What was it again? It doesn't matter which. Tell me. Tell me. Mia laughed happily and took a bunch of games out of the club locker. She lined them up on the desk. I think that was the first time Mion ever let someone else decide on the game for her. I could tell she was being especially considerate to Satoko. Thinking that, whatever her circumstances, if we could just enjoy our time together as a group, that might be some comfort, some diversion. Satoko seemed to understand her feelings too, and smiled vaguely, though pleased. But her head slowly moved from side to side. I'm very grateful, but your feelings are enough. There are many things I need to do, so... Even Rika-chan hung her head in remorse. Hey! Whoa! Seriously? All the club members are here once, and we're not playing anything? That's torture in the face of the enemy. What was the punish game for it? What part of the club constitution was that in? Stop it, Mi-chan. We can't force her to play with us. Hey, this old man wasn't trying to force her or anything. I just thought it would be fun if we did something exciting. Really, I'm happy you feel that way. Don't worry, next we'll meet, you'll see. I'll get you all caught in a gigantic trap. Satoko, while insulting us, still said she couldn't participate in the club today and apologized. She quickly put her things into her bag and pattered into the hallway, disappearing. It all happened in a blink of an eye. Satoko. Rika-chan stared loathsomely as her friend hurried home, unable to be a part of club activities. Silence filled the classroom. Bubbles and the cheerful voices of our classmates in the schoolyards, and the voices of the cicadas sounded like they were coming from a faraway world. This is boring. The silence was broken by Mion's bitterness as she began putting the games on the desk back into the locker. Everyone just stared absently at Satoko's seat. Now empty. My apologies, I burnt. I'm so sorry. Rika-chan, maybe you could tell us about it now. Rena made as gentle a smile as she possibly could and spoke softly to Rena-chan. Even without hearing it from her, we pretty much knew the situation at this point. Satoko's uncle had broken up with his lover and came back home to Himizawa, and he had taken Satoko back home and forced her to do all the housework. And all that had to be pretty rough on her. Thinking that this was common knowledge to everyone, I skipped to the most important part. Is it really bad? Maybe Mion and Rena wanted to ask the same question. Nobody spoke. We all just stared, waiting for Rika-chan's reply. Rika-chan still didn't answer us. We were hoping for her to say no, but her silence was a bad enough sign. Last year, was it? It was like this when both her uncle and his wife were here, right? Yeah. At the time, they were mostly being caught between their aunt and uncle fighting. One of the ways we helped out with the club, by reducing her time at home as much as we could, but... He's making her do the chores now, so she can't stay at school either. Shit. Satoko's not a slave. Who do you think you are, knowing your own inability to live properly and basically putting Satoko under house arrest? When you think about it, isn't this really strange? We need a lot of circumstantial evidence, but isn't this abuse? Can't we notify the police or something? You're right. If we have evidence she was being abused, I think we could tell the police. And we can't talk, and can't we talk to the region's welfare people about this? Ren and I kept on saying, police, police, as though it was for nothing. But Mion's response sounded like she thought we were being a little naive. It's easier for you to say that. Have you thought about the risk of actually getting proof? What do you mean? Risk? I think it was 2 winters ago. We reported it to the Child Consultation Center. We told them that there was abuse happening and to do something right away. You did? What happened? A person came as soon as we called. She interviewed Satoko and Satoshi about what was going on. And their uncle and his wife too. I can understand asking Satoko and Satoshi, but wouldn't it be not so good to talk to the aunt and uncle? They say they based their judgment on what they heard from both sides. Great of them, wasn't it? So, what did they decide to do? Wait and see. What? What do you mean by wait and see? The uncle really studied up on this stuff. By law, you can't call it abuse unless someone admits to assault or child neglect. They poke and prodded Satoko and Satoshi a lot, but never really left real marks on them. They were pretty much getting 3 meals a day in beds, and had beds, and there weren't any recordings or something to prove that they had said or done anything to cause them psychological trauma. None of the villagers had actually seen them being violent either. No matter how you mean you are, you couldn't act so violent in front of other people. Nobody would. Then, what happened? The welfare officer apparently went to visit the same day each week for a while. The aunt and uncle knew they were being watched though, and didn't torment them in any way that would stand out. Of course, that wasn't the end of it. You mean they ramped up how malicious they were being? Mion sighed and nodded. Their aunt was really damn stubborn. She was one of the most spiteful people I've ever known. Apparently she was doing some pretty disgusting things. Satoko was like a doll that did nothing but breathe by the end of it. So what? If you want the conclusion, does that mean they should have never contacted child welfare in the first place? Understand? Without proof of her abuse so clear anyone could see it, there's nothing we can do. In fact, it might make the situation worse. We messed up pretty bad. After hearing even public organizations, the one thing we thought was defendable couldn't do anything, everyone hung their heads. In other words, if we have clear evidence of abuse, we shouldn't notify anyone? Well, I mean, basically, yeah. I consider Satoko's current situation. She was brought back to her house. It was a little difficult to call that abuse. She was being tormented and forced to do chores. How she was being tormented would be the key, but without concrete evidence, it would be difficult to prove. She has some kind of external injury, that would work. But as far as we could tell from today, she had nothing like that. Being forced to do chores, I was a bit weak too. There had to be better evidence that she was without a doubt being abused. I know. Her uncle ignored Satoko's existence for a whole year and went to live with his lover in town. Didn't that fall under one of the definitions of abuse that Mion had mentioned? Child neglect? Yeah. It's a perfect case of child neglect. What about that, Michan? If her uncle weren't here now, it could be recognized as child neglect. But he's living with her at the moment, isn't he? They were apart before, but he said something like that. He had a change of heart and decided to live with her. Then they might just wait and see again. Once we reported it, we will need to be absolutely sure they interpreted it as abuse. Maybe we need more concrete evidence, lest we repeat last year's mistake. I'm just checking if the webcam's still working. It still is, sorry. It's sad. This means we have to sit quietly and wait for him to be violent towards Satoko-chan and leave a mark, don't we? The only plan I could think of was, man, just watching and waiting. It left me shocked. I realized it will be the same policy of what the officials had made the situation works. As Mion said, reporting it to a public agency would be a gamble. If we were going to pick a fight, it would have to be one we couldn't afford to lose. If we were gambling, without enough money, without enough evidence, our defeat would be assured. If we took the time to amass enough money that we could be sure of victory, then that would be pretending we didn't see Satoko's plight for a considerable amount of time. Sorry for bringing this up now, but how is Rika-chan able to live by herself? Rika-chan had lost her parents, if I could recall it correctly. From what I heard, she had no relatives either. She was forced to live on her own as a result, but her life was unfettered, free of restriction. She could somehow grant that freedom to Satoko too. I mean, Rika-chan, you're not living without any parents, right? Don't kids with no guardians have to go to orphanages and stuff? Keiichi-kun, that's cool. I'm not saying to be mean. I'm only asking because I thought there may be a hint to saving Satoko. Rika-chan, sorry if I offended you. Rika-chan shook her head, not particularly disturbed. Well, you see, it's because I'm considered the mayor's daughter. Let me explain. The mayor, Old Man Kimiyoshi, is Rika-chan's guardian. He got official permission from the governor of the prefecture. Huh. So you're adopted? No, not adopted. You can be someone's guardian without being in the same family. Oh, I get it. Rika-chan lives by herself, but by law, she's considered to live with the mayor, right? Yeah, basically. That's how Rika-chan avoids being sent to an orphanage. Actually, he'll be a child in family services, not an orphanage. Me, I don't understand the hard things, but anyway, she's right. Interesting you should say that, Beyond. You could be someone's guardian even if they're in another family? Then shouldn't we have the mayor or someone else become Satoko's guardian, if only on paper? Then she would be in the same position as Rika-chan, and she could go back to her old life. Too bad it won't work. I mean, her uncle's supposedly her guardian. Wait a minute. You lost me there. What's a guardian exactly, anyway? In legal terms, a guardian and parent weren't necessarily synonyms, so whoever was actually looking after her at home would be considered her guardian. Then her uncle isn't her guardian. He left Satoko by herself for so long. But if he insists he's her guardian, then that's it. It's been a few days since Satoko was taken back to her house. Her uncle's been paying for her meals since then, right? He's sort of looking after her, so he probably insists. And even though he abandoned her for a year, he's already looked after her for a whole year before that. But the mayor doesn't have to do that kind of history. So then, if both the being uncle and the mayor are requesting guardianship at the same time, the uncle would make more sense? No, but he had a better chance. The term guardian refers to the person actually caring for her, right? The uncle actually has a bed and food for her, but the mayor doesn't have his name. But the mayor would just have his name. It wouldn't be even a contest. Then, shouldn't the mayor just start caring for her for real? He'd been her guardian in name in reality if he did. We just need to shelter Satoko. That might lead to her uncle being desperate to take her back, but will stubbornly refuse him. It won't be that easy. Satoko's grown a girl, you know. It's not like giving someone like a cat. You're asking him to take care of for a real person. Then Coach! What about Coach? Coach, I don't know, he's got a lot of money, right? He's even said it himself. Even if he's not a real father, Coach could become her guardian. Coach would be great at taking care of her. Stop that! Stop taking Satoko like a pet. All you're doing is talking about pushing her onto someone else. You need to think more seriously about how much responsibility is to care about for another being. Did you ask him? Did you get an actual promise from him that he'd take Satoko under his care? No, I didn't. Coach would definitely say yes. Ha! Well, fine. Even considering the 0% possibility of Coach actually saying it was okay, then what? It still wouldn't work. He couldn't become a guardian all by himself. That's right. Coach, didn't he say himself? He was alone, so he couldn't do it. Shit! What the hell? Why is being single such a disadvantage in this society? Then, all you could do is marry into a wealthy family, couldn't you? Is there anyone that wealthy in Himizawa? I'm not sure. See? It's not simple. It's hard to adopt someone. And you can't go into thinking you will push Satoko on someone else just for a little while. You're being naive, Kei-chan. Shit! Damn it! What the hell? I'm desperately thinking how to save Satoko, and all you're saying is no, no! Don't you care about Satoko at all? Are you even worried about our friend one bit? What do you have to say for yourself? I didn't mean that. But it just won't be that easy, and it's not that difficult of a problem. All we need to do is some rich people to look after Satoko for a while, that's all. Right, what about your family, Mion? You always brag about being great as one of the 3 families or whatever, don't you? From what you said, you must live in a gigantic house. My house? No, that won't happen. My grandma would never allow it. Then what about your relatives at Okimiya? From what I heard, they're living in a luxury themselves. There's plenty of shops your relatives manage around, too. Your family are basically millionaires, aren't they? No, that just won't work. Going to Okimiya is even more out of the question. My father, he'll never let it happen, ever. Hey. Normally you act like some high and mighty bigwig, but now you're all being spineless? What the hell? Are you just going to sit by and watch Satoko suffer? That's no, I don't, but... I mean, I want her as much as you. But that's a different story. How's it a different story? How can you be so cold-hearted? Your friend is in trouble. What are you if you don't rescue her? You're our president. Our club president. Save her. Save her from this crisis. If you don't save her right now, you're not her friend. You're not even a human. I don't know if you have any humanity left in you. Are you listening to me, Mion? My emotions all exploded out of me, and I didn't even get a chance to say anything in response. I just wanted to make Mion agree with me, even if I had to force her. If she did, Satoko's problems would be resolved. Keiichi's being such a... This is a hard arc to read. If pushing her to resolve this issue, then I'd push it as much as I needed to. Why aren't you saying anything anymore? I'm asking you, asshole. Well, say something, Mion Sodazaki. Me? Mion, looking down with a grim face, began sobbing. Her hands were clenched into a trembling fist, and she rubbed her eyes to wipe away the tears. What did I actually say that mean? Yes, it was! This isn't the time to cry. We're in the gambling room right now, and we have to do something to save Satoko. As I thought that, Rena spoke, her voice cold and incredibly calm. Kiichi-kun, if Ichi's family won't work, then what if we look for another wealthy family? I think I know someone in Himizo who lives in a nice big house. Who's that? Oh, come on. You got a splendid family, and you're living it out of things. My family? My family is... Your friends, right? Save her, Keiichi-kun. Michan is cold-hearted after all. Since you're so considerate towards friends, you should lead it... Alright, I have to give a hand to Rena. She's calling Keiichi out on it. Okay, she's calling Keiichi out for being kind of an asshole, so I'm giving her applause. Since you're so considerate towards friends, you should lead by example. Just the 3 of you living in that huge house, right? And you'll probably get plenty of spare rooms. You should just give a few of the empty ones to Satoko-chan, and then her worries will be all over. What's this? We're done already. That was pretty quick. Okay, great. Congratulations on solving the problem. Then we're done for today. I'm going home. Hooray, hooray. Maybe I'll go to the treasure hunting. I haven't done that in a while. Oh, Keiichi. I was so worried about Satoko-chan until now that I didn't feel like going to play at all. I wonder what I'll find today. Oh. Say something, will you? Why am I the only one talking? Whoa. Oh, that's still Rena. Oh my god, that was still Rena. I thought that was Keiichi making fun of her. No, that's actually Rena. Okay, I'm gonna talk my Rena voice. Sorry, I thought Keiichi was mocking her, but no, that was actually Rena the whole time. I didn't realize that. I'm so sorry. What's this? We're done already? That was pretty quick. Okay, great. Congratulations on solving the problem. Then are we done for today? I'm gonna home. Hooray, hooray. Maybe I'll go treasure hunting. I haven't done that in a while. I was so worried about Satoko-chan until now that I didn't feel like going to play at all. I wonder what I'll find today. Oh. Say something, will you? Say something. Why am I the only one talking? Say something, you bastard. Are you listening, Keiji Maibara? Even the cicadas seemed to cower in fear. Rena, her shoulders bobbing up and down, and me, who had forgotten to breathe. Mion, whose face had gone completely pale, and Rikichan, who was keeping silent as if nothing had happened. The atmosphere in the classroom grew tight and stiff, and it petrified us where we stood. Rattle. The sound of the chair as Rena sat back down after stood up finally allowed everyone present to take a breath. Rena has shown me how much. I heard Rena. Beyond. Damn it! Damn it! Oh, damn it, Rika! Oh, I love you. Rena's scary. After a few moments, Rika shined kind of in the frozen air. Yeah, I'm sorry, Rika-chan. Hee-chan, I'm sorry to you too. I would have to apologize to you. Do I, Keiichi-kun? Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for just being so unreasonable. Were you saying all that to me before? You said it while glaring at me-chan, so I totally thought you were talking to her. Rin has such strength that you wouldn't have imagined it normally. All I did was spout terrible things in a wave of violent fury passed over me. I couldn't contend with her. Mion. I'm sorry. I lost my cool. Come to think of it, I didn't understand what had gotten me that riled up. I thought of myself as Satsuko's Nini, so I only had good intentions. That I think about it a little harder than anyone else, and yet... It's okay. You were worrying with everything you had, but all I was saying was that nothing would work. So I'm sorry. I did something wrong too. Mion rubbed away the tears at the corner of her eyes with fists and apologized as well. We bowed our heads to each other and looked down, without glancing at the other. Someone. I don't know who. He'd sigh. Satsuko being tormented, and had known about it since last year. How had the tragedy back then saved Satsuko? How they brought it to an end? Right. And then, nobody could do anything. All they could do is bear with it patiently, and wait for the agonizing aches to end. That's right. The one who brought an end to those terrible days was some crazy drug addict nobody knew. On the night of Watanakashi last year, the Mina had been beaten to death. But it had been done to save Satsuko or Satoshi. Right. It really was just coincidence. Satsuko friends. He didn't do something for her the most at all. Did nothing. The incident may have been a tragic one, but from Satsuko's viewpoint, it was nothing less than a miracle. Yes, a miracle. A miracle that one could only wait for. Is waiting all we can do? Not for evidence of abuse. Not for something that minor. Huh? Wait. For what? A miracle. No one made fun of me for using such a crazy... We couldn't come up with any solutions, so it was the only thing we could do. We're powerless. That one word Mion dropped was the finishing blow. It was hot. My body was sticky with sweat. The worst month. June. Wow. When I went into Tatarigoroshi, I knew this would have been a hard arc to read, but fuck. It is a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be. Well, thank you all for watching this episode of Higurashi When They Cried Tatarigoroshi. I'll see you all next time, and yeah, I don't have much to say. This is one of the harder arcs to read the Higurashi due to, well, the topics that it goes through. So, yeah, this is a pretty rough arc to read. So, thank you for watching my video, and yeah, at points it might be a little bit hard for me to read because, well, it's just a hard topic to read about. So thank you all for watching my video, and if you liked it, leave a like, leave a comment. I'll see you all next time. Leave a like. Leave a comment. See you all next time.
Okay, okay.